Alright, you magnificent miscreants, listen up. Today we're diving into Dark Salty Sea or XDefiant 8, because some of you lot just can't handle challenge without throwing your toys out at pram. If you're here to cry about SBMM or call me a shill, well buckle up, because I've got a PhD in telling you like it is, and you're about to get schooled. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks. It helps channel grow and lets me keep bringing truth straight to your ear holes. Now let's get started on this letter of tough love. So you don't like XDefiant, huh? Well, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, just like you're entitled to that dodgy haircut and those questionable life choices. But you know who else is entitled to their opinion? That's right, me, and every other gamer who's tired of the whiny nonsense you lot spew in comment section. You see, we get it, you don't like game, but what's hilarious is that some of you seem upset that other people actually enjoy it, and instead of just moving on with your life, you dive headfirst into comment section calling us shills or bootlickers. Well, here's a plot twist for you, that's exactly what you are, just for other side. It's like watching a parade of parrots, each one squawking the same tired regurgitated phrase, no originality, no critical thought, just a bandwagon of bitterness rolling through streets of internet. And honestly, it's starting to feel like console wars all over again. Completely pointless, entirely nonsensical, and about as productive as arguing with a brick wall. You know, it's almost tragic how predictable gaming communities become. It's like you lot are pre-programmed robots all running on the same outdated firmware. Where's individuality? Where's original thought? I know, it's all about looking cool for big kids, innit? Jumping on latest 8 train because God forbid you form an opinion of your own. It's like a schoolyard really. Everyone's too scared to be the one kid who actually says, you know what, I actually like this game. Instead, you all just parrot same garbage you've read somewhere else. Probably from some other loudmouth who's just as clueless as you are. I mean, what happened? Did gaming world run out of creativity? Or are you just too lazy to think for yourselves? Honestly, it's like I'm watching the same bloody argument play on repeat. And it's getting old. Real old. And here's kicker, most of you aren't even hating on XDefiant because you think it's bad. No, you're hating on it because someone else told you to. It's like zombie apocalypse, but instead of brains, you lot are after any shred of controversy you can get your hands on. But hey, who am I to stop you? If you want to be just another drawn in hive, be my guest. Just don't come crying when you realise you've wasted all that time hating on something you never actually took time to understand. It's real issue, and I know some of you are going to choke on this. You can't handle a game without SBMM. That's right, I said it. You've been coddled by games like Call of Duty where matchmaking's so strict it's practically holding your hand and tucking you in at night. You get those wins handed to you on silver platter and you started to think you're some kind of FPS god. And then along comes XDefiant and suddenly, no safety net. No algorithm working overtime to make sure you get a kill streak every now and then. And instead of rising to challenge, you crumble. You break down like a toddler who just realised they don't get a participation trophy this time. I get it, I really do. It's tough out there when you've been pampered by SBMM for so long. Hard to adapt when a game actually expects you to get better on your own. But instead of knuckling down and improving your skills, you lot just throw your hands up and call game trash. That's not how it works, sunshine. You want to get good at gaming, really good, you gotta challenge yourself. And that's exactly what XDefiant does. It doesn't hold your hand, it don't coddle you, throws you in deep end and says swim or sink. And judging by all crying, it looks like a lot of you are sinking faster than a stone. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop blaming game and start looking in the mirror. You want to get better? Then embrace challenge. Otherwise, you're just proving my point that without SBMM, you're lost. And that's gotta sting, doesn't it? Now let's talk about other favourite excuse at perpetually mediocre. Netcode and hit registration. Ah yes, the classic crier, it's not me, it's game. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend XDefiant is perfect. Of course there are issues, no one's denying that. Devs have openly acknowledged it and they're working on it. But let's be real here. Most of the complaints I'm seeing are coming from the same crowd that thinks they're FPS legends. When in reality, they're more like FPS court jesters. You know, type always first to blame hit reg when the shots don't land, or when they get outplayed by someone with actual skill. It's hit reg, it's broken. Yeah, sure mate, hit reg's a problem. Definitely not fact that you can't aim to save your life. And here's where it gets really good. If an old bloke like me, with reflexes slower than a Monday morning, only one properly working hand, and eyesight that's seen better days, can manage to beat player at game using M4A1, the worst gun in the game, in XDefiant, and what does that say about you, Maybe it's not netcode, maybe it's not hit reg, maybe it's just you. Look, I'll admit I'm not best player. I'm fully aware that I'm past my prime when it comes to reaction times. But I've seen players get 100 kills in a round, climb ranks and dominate matches. We aren't crying about netcode every 5 minutes. So what's your excuse? You can't keep blaming game for your own lack of skill, especially in a game that doesn't have SBMM to hide behind. Spending more time typing out angry comments about hit reg and netcode than you are actually practicing and improving, then maybe problem in XDefiant. Maybe problem is you. But hey, keep telling yourself it's all game's fault, whatever helps you sleep at night. I've got one last bit of pill for you to swallow. It's time to face the truth. You're bad at game, and probably gaming in general. And real kicker is, you're too weak to face challenge and develop your skills. And that makes you a quitter. And let me tell you, quitters don't get far in life, in gaming or anywhere else. Now, I'd hate to see how you handle a real life challenge. I imagine you curl up in a dark corner, crying like a little baby cause world didn't go easy on you. And that's what makes me sad for you. One day you're gonna learn a harsh lesson, and when that day comes you'll look back on everything I've said here today and realise, I were right. And though I can't say for sure if I'll still be around when that day hits, if I am, I'll happily accept your apology for being such a dick. But hey, enough of my lecturing. If you've got the stones to keep playing, maybe even get better, then more power to you. And if not, well, you know where the door is. Now, before you scuttle off, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts and gaming stories. Who knows? I might just feature them on the channel. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.